The delegate from Norfolk, Delegate Lindsey.
Delegate personal privilege.
Delegate Lindsey, you have the floor.
Madam Speaker, first I'll start by saying the last time I checked, and I checked very recently, the bill that the gentleman speaks to has been referred to the P&E committee. That out of the way, I think many of you would think that I would get into a battle of wit and word exchange with the delegate, but I so like the comments that I've already made that I'm not going to change them. Instead, I'm going to talk about something different. I'm just for a moment, if you're going to indulge me, going to talk about my wife. All right, let me tell you something about my wife. My wife is a phenomenal driver. Now, there are times when it's raining and she's going 65, 70 miles per hour, and I'm sitting in the passenger side and cringing, white-knuckled, and wondering if my children are going to have parents at the end of the night. But she's never started me from a destination and not gotten me to that intended location. And sometimes I understand what it's like to be a passenger, in the vehicle. See, I'm used to driving. I'm used to taking the wheel and taking the car to that destination that's intended. Matter of fact, I left the session last Friday knowing that, that we had a family emergency in Brooklyn, New York, and I drove straight from here, threw my bag from one car to the next, and got on the road to go to Brooklyn, New York. I was tired, I was weathered, but the part I forgot to tell you in this story is I was sitting in the passenger seat. Because my wife took me from where we started to the destination where we intended, and she got me there safely and on time. Sometimes when you're in the passenger seat, you kind of start thinking about, well, maybe I would have changed this lane, or maybe I would have sped up, or maybe I would have done it this way. Well, that's very much in keeping with being the passenger. And we all can't drive, and we all aren't in charge of this particular body or this particular movement of this legislation. But I'm very, very fond of making sure that if I say something, that I stay true to my word. But we're going to get away from politics and we're going to go back to my wife. Just remember, all of us don't have the way to get us there. That all of us just aren't the authors of the best way to get us to the best end result. And sometimes you got to sit back in the passenger seat and trust that you're going to get to the destination as intended.